There's a power here that welcomes me.
Ahoy guys, welcome to probably the only Hextoad video you will see before the leak launches. First of all, this is not a build guide, even though I do have PUB, I don't acknowledge it as an actual guide. It's more like a concept video where I explain some of my thoughts and my leak start idea regarding the Hextoad support. I will definitely leak start this, and you can follow my progress on Twitch or wait for further update videos if you are interested. Now let's get started. The footage in the background is heavily edited recent playthrough where you can see what it's like during the campaign. Although my gear was quite poor and I was mostly underleveled, it wasn't feeling bad, especially after switching to Impending Doom in Act 3. After this playthrough I already made some changes for my next campaign to make it smoother. The slash blade is around 530, but it would be less under normal circumstances. I was AFK quite a lot, reviewing footage or just eating, etc. When I saw Hextoads during the reveal, I immediately wanted to play them. With damage roughly equal to level 25 Hex Blast, there must be a way to make use of them. And nobody else seems to want to POB them, so I took it on myself. I have decided to try pairing Hextoads with Impending Doom because Hextoad is basically exceptional version of Cursed Ground support. And this is the only build I can think of that actively uses it. In the video, I assume you have at least some knowledge of Impending Doom and you are decently familiar with the game. There is a disclaimer I have to bring up. The Hextoad support might not even work on this setup, because it's actually quite likely that it works in a way where you need to leave the curse on the ground for at least 1 second before the toad spawns. Of course, I have prepared some backup plans if this interaction doesn't work, which includes turning it into a 2-button build and using toads on a different curse setup just as an occasional extra damage button. You could literally just place it down and let it deal damage for 20 to 30 seconds without recasting it. It could be useful for stand-in circle mechanics, applying debuffs, ailments, and as a support spell similar to Void Sphere. That said, I want to leak start and try it nonetheless, even though it's not a safe leak start. You can always play it as a normal Impending Doom Occultist. There are advantages and disadvantages to using Cursed Ground setup instead of Vixens, but Vixen's currently generally better. This might change in upcoming patch, and these two playstyles could be closer in terms of power. With the addition of Coins of Knowledge, which imbue gems with extra intelligence support, we don't lose a damage support by using Cursed Ground, and the Cursed Ground itself is turned into Hextoads, which could by themselves be a damage support, if this setup works. And, although it's a minor upside, we don't need Vixens for our build to work. Especially if you are progressing fast, Vixens are hard to get during leak start. Now we get to the more interesting part. How do we scale Hextoads? Hextoads actually work very similarly to Impending Doom. Both are based on support gems that are triggering a Chaos AoE spell. As such, you can't use normal +2 spell gems, mods on gear. You need mods like +2 intelligence gems from Crusader body armor or +2 AoE gems from Corruption. Since I decided to use Occultist, I also want to tap into Forbidden Power Ascendancy node for power charge stacking, which leads us to crit and helps solve mana issues that Impending Doom usually has. We also need cooldown recovery to scale Impending Doom, and perhaps Hextoads. We don't know if you can reduce the 1 second trigger rate besides quality on the gems. The quality effect is apparent from what GG shown us in the video versus what's on their website. It seems like 1% quality is equal to 0.01 second, which sums up to 0.2 second reduction at 20% quality. This could mean that increasing quality could be a potent way of increasing Hextoad damage, if you can somehow manage to increase it further with items like Diala's Malefaction. The cooldown recovery comes with the need of at least some cast speed for effectively triggering Impending Doom. That said, we need way less cast speed on Cursed Ground setup compared to Vixens, because we trigger more effectively due to exploding Impending Doom with Cursed Ground replacement instead of curse overwriting through Vixens. Many people will also think of poison as well for damage scaling, which is quite typical for Impending Doom, and that is one of my backup plans, especially for a single target. But I want to try it without poison first. This decision will also help with gearing, hopefully. When it comes to defensives, after everything is set up correctly, we should have at least 70-70 block, energy shield leech, endurance charges, chaos inoculation, elemental ailment immunity, corrupted blood immunity, energy shield on block from shaper shield, temporal chains on enemies, and alright energy shield proof of at least 10,000, possibly 15 or 20,000 depending on gear. Main issue is this max hit, which hopefully should be enough with a portal setup and 6 portals. Some people might ask how expensive this would be. Prices change a lot depending on the league, but this shouldn't be very expensive due to it being an off-meta build and it can be played as a league starter, so you don't need anything special. No uniques, just basic rares up until red maps, where you will need to invest into some decent ES gear, swap to CI, and start working toward more expensive upgrade. You should get Firesong Javel as soon as you can for Element Immunity, which lets you swap Pantheon for either Solaris or Lunaris. Later on, work for Shaper Shield, Warlord Helmet and Void Battery first, most likely, depending on if you need more damage or defense. Everything else is in the POB linked in the description. One extra thing not mentioned in POB is possible inclusion of Rational Doctrine, Forbidden Jewels, Balance of Terror, and Eternal Struggle, but I don't like planning around getting them reliably, or I am not sure if any of them will be worth it. That's also why I don't include the new overpowered belt. When it comes to leveling with this build, I don't want to make a detailed leveling guide because people like to go through campaign differently. But if I had to summarize it from my perspective, level with Blight and Wither Totem, or Essence Drain Contagion, up until 3, where you can straight up swap to Impending Doom on level 31 as soon as you get Forlink. I also suggest at least leveling with Shield Charge Frostblink, it will significantly speed you up. Sadly, we have to do Library, and you need a Chance Orb for the gem, keep that in mind. After that, the setup basically doesn't change. For auras, I can suggest practically any of these: Tempest Shield, Purity of Elements, Zealotry, Discipline, or Haste. You should be able to run 2 auras around 6 or Act 7 and not have mana issues. I don't want to cut out the rest of the campaign from the video, but there is not much for me to say, so with this, I thank you for listening to my very first proper video, and please subscribe if you liked it and comment, especially if you have questions or want to roast my ideas. And don't forget to tune in for the link launch on my Twitch. And I hope you will hop on the Hextoad Sage wagon and league start with enough copium and Toad.